after a week with no Boruto episode, I was honestly wondering what they were going to do. I didn't really remember what they were going to be potentially doing with the episode until just yesterday when I remembered that there was going to be an episode today. But it started off and they got a new opening for this new vessel arc for the show. And it really surprised me because I thought they were going to use the old one that they had been using for a while. But no, they made a new one and I really like it. They show off more with Kawaki. They insinuate and foreshadow a couple of things that are probably going to be happening later on in the future of this show and maybe this arc as well. And after that, after we see the opening, after it's over, we then finally start getting into a couple of the car members. We see a few of them. They're talking about like all the fucking bullshit of like, oh yeah, we lost the vessel. Who's responsible for this, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, ultimately they end up figuring out that, yeah, they already knew ahead of time that Victor, yeah, that's his name. They already figured out ahead of time that Victor was behind the crash of the plane. In some capacity, he was trying to portray Kara, the organization as a whole. They already figured out that he was going to do something. And so we see Kashin Koji in the episode. And, this guy has been eluding me for a while because of the fact that I've known about him for a little bit. But he was in the manga because, fucking obviously, the manga's like way ahead of the show. And finally we see him in the episode and he's really fucking cool. Just so far, it's like Jigen. I like Jigen a lot because he's ominous and mysterious and we don't really know how capable he really is yet. And then Kashin Koji just kind of fucking comes in the episode, drops his dick on us, and he's just like, yeah, I'm fucking cool. Don't mess with me. So we have that for like the first maybe 10 minutes or so of the episode. Maybe like the first half, I'm not really sure. I don't really remember how far the episode was in by the time that it ended. But the next part of the episode, the next plot, I should say, is basically the match of Boruto versus Naruto. It's a sparring match. Just to kind of show off that, yeah, Boruto's kind of improved a lot, and that was the whole reason why Naruto wanted to do it in the first place. But it turns out Naruto actually had a little bit of a secret agenda for this to begin with, because he actually has an entirely different prosthetic arm that allows him to be able to absorb jutsu, kind of like how Momoshiki was able to do back during the Chunin exams. He's able to do that with this whole entire new shinobi prosthetic, and obviously Boruto is kind of upset by this because he was actually really excited to do this because A, his dad got the promise, B, he gets to fight his dad, and C, he mentions this in the episode as well, is that he really wanted to redeem himself for what he did back in the Chunin exams. He was really ashamed for what he did back then, and he wanted to make up for it, especially towards his father. And then lo and behold, his dad ends up he was using a shinobi prosthetic tool the entirety of the match, and that really pissed him off. But then they kind of explain like, oh, I guess there's context behind the use of using a shinobi prosthetic tool. In the case for Boruto, he was literally cheating to get better results for the entirety of the Chunin exams. And this one with Naruto, he was using it for like strategic purposes. Boruto wasn't really using it for strategic purposes. He was using it literally just to win. He wasn't being strategical with it at all. He was blatantly cheating. Naruto, however, was absorbing chakra to confuse Boruto so that he can get the upper hand, and eventually he does that within the episode and he gets the win off from Boruto. And it was really cool. All of it looked really good. I don't think anything looked horrifically bad in terms of animation, although I don't really have a super keen eye on animation like some other people do. You know who they are if you know who they are, but I think it looked good. It kept me thoroughly entertained, and I was really impressed by the way that they decided to come back with the first episode of the new year for this show. I think that week off kind of gave them enough time to be able to do some stuff that they wanted to do with the episode. I think it looked good. I thought the music choices was really good in the episode. And yeah, like I said, it just kept me thoroughly entertained, and I am way more invested into this now, and I hope that they can keep this level of quality continuing on further, so that way this doesn't end up becoming a snore fest. But without further ado, that's pretty much the entirety of the episode, which means that's the end of the review. If you enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, and if you aren't subscribed for more videos just like this, I'll see you guys next one. Have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace.